Hello, this is Talon with Old Guy Stuff. You may notice I've got an extra recording going on here, and that's just because if I don't do that on my video viewer, it shuts off in a minute and a half. So bear with me on that, please. Okay, this is going to be a review on a Conjure chromatic harmonica. It's got 10 holes, which means it can get 40 notes. Let me show how that works here. See, I've got 10 holes. And see, I've got 2 holes inside the holes. If I push the slide, it changes what parts of those holes the air is going to go through. So here on a blow and draw, I can get 2 notes, one for blow, one for draw. But if I use the slide, that blow and draw goes to different notes. So you can get 4 notes per hole, as opposed to, say, a diatonic, where the diatonic is only going to get blow and draw on each hole. It's not going to get the extra 2 notes on each hole. Okay. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk about what the music looks like here. Okay, and I do have music showing, because if you can read music, you can relate to this a whole lot better. And if you can't read music, think about learning how to do it. Okay. Even the Beatles could not read music when they started out and became really famous. But I was watching some interviews with them, and they said they actually made a decision to learn to read music so that they could write music better. Okay, worked for the Beatles. And I'm not even a Beatles fan, but I like that story. All right. So the first line on this page, I got 2 pages here. Got that one and that one. The first line on this page, I'm just going to blow or draw notes, holes 1, 2, 3, 4, one at a time. So I'm going to blow 1, 2, 3, 4, draw 4, 3, 2, 1, and end with a blow on 1. And that's just because it solidifies tonality. That's the only reason I do that extra note. Okay. And so what you want to do is kind of pucker a little bit so that the hole between your lips is small enough to only get 1 hole on a harmonica. Personally, I think those are pretty good sounding notes, and I'm a retired music teacher of 26 years, and I have a good ear for those kind of things. Is it perfect? No instrument is perfect. I mean, we're not talking about $1 million Stradivarius violin here, okay? But harmonica-wise, this is really nice, okay? I'm going to do the exact same thing on the second line, but I'm going to use the slide. That way it's different notes. So I'm going to move everything up chromatically, or up a half step on the second line. So holes 1, 2, 3, 4, one at a time blow, 4, 3, 2, 1, one at a time blow, and then blowing 1 at the end, but the slide is going to be in the whole time. Not bad. My favorite register for playing on a harmonica is the low register. Okay, you'll notice I do not have anything on this page for holes 9 and 10 up here, and that's because I have a hearing disability. I cannot hear those high notes. So my family tells me that they sound fine. I'll blow them in and draw into a tuner, and it indicates they're in tune, but I can't hear them, so I'm not going to demonstrate them. So the third line and the fourth line are the same as lines 1 and 2, but I'm adding 4 to the number. That's it. And so instead of doing holes 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to do holes 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And I always have to look at it, because I can't just pop it up to my mouth and note a number. So I always kind of look at it, and then I aim and bring it up there. So. Not bad. I'm not a fan of the high notes, though. I really wish this was an octave lower. So if the manufacturers hear this, maybe they'll do that. And if they do it, send me a message and tell me, because I'll be happy to buy it. Okay, we'll do the same holes, but with the slide. Okay. Pretty good sounding notes. So what this should tell me is this instrument can play a full 2-octave chromatic scale, and I'm not going to do that, but it has the capability. You just have to be able to control your blow, slide, draw, slide, blow to the next one, and up and down the instrument, and you can pull off that. So any note is doable on the instrument, and that's a great thing. Okay, I love diatonics, but you know what? You can't play every single note unless you got some really good bends going on with, how you do that with your breath. All right, let's look at the next page here. So the next page, I've got chords. All right, I've got chords. Other than the last two notes on the last two chords on the top line, I'm just going to do holes 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we already know all the notes sound good, holes 1 through 8, we've heard them. Okay, so when I play them as a chord together, they should still sound good. So I'm only going to do the low octave, and a couple reasons for this is I prefer the low chords, and the other reason is we're going to save some time, okay, just by not playing it on a higher octave, that's all. Okay, so this is how this is going to go. The 7 notes. Gee, thanks Samsung, you ruined this video. I'm going to still post it. Okay, so here's what happens. I'm blowing 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to slide, and then I'm going to draw, slide, draw, blow, slide, blow. Okay, so sounds a little complicated, and it took me a few minutes to really get it, but there we go. Yeah, overall not bad. Okay. Let's look at the last two chords on this line though. I have BDFA, which is a half diminished 7, or in this case, this is an inversion half diminished 6/5. Doesn't mean a lot to most people in the world, and jazz people are like, oh, why do we have to say this? But that's going to go to a 1 chord, okay? And these are just holes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is the closest you're going to come on any chromatic harmonica to get a 5 chord, okay? I'm going to try to cover up the name so I'm not plugging another instrument, but if I did a 1 chord to a 5 chord to a 1 chord on a harmonica, you'd get this. But no chromatic can get that 5 chord. And that's because any 3 or 4 holes you're going to draw or blow in a row is not going to include all the notes you need for that chord. It's just not. Here's another drawback on all harmonicas, and it's not just the chromatic, all harmonicas. They can't play a true 4 chord. Now, on the diatonic, you can draw on that 5 chord and bend down a major second, and if you can do it in tune and get that major second on all of the holes at the same time, you can get a 4 chord. I'd love to see a harmonica come out that can get a 4 chord and a 5 chord and a 1 chord. Because then I can play some really good 12-bar blues and not have to worry about my bends being in tune. Okay, so if the manufacturer can hit it, please make that. I'll be happy to buy it. Okay, and I'll do a video on it for you. But this is going to be a half diminished 6/5 chord to a 1 chord, and that is the last 2 notes, or those are the last 2 chords on the top line. So drawing holes 1 through 4, then blowing holes 1 through 4. Overall, not bad sounding, not at all. Okay, but I really would like to be able to get a 5 chord out of this, honestly, and a 4 chord if they can make it possible. Okay, let's look at the middle line. The middle line is a little blues riff that I wrote, and I put in some of my songs where I'm singing like this, like I'm crazy, so just bear with me on that. So this little blues riff that I wrote, and it's going to pop into B flat, which is going to be a slide. So we're going to be drawing hole 3 and then use the slide, and then unslide. So it's going to be a good blues effect. Okay, so the slide can let you get some good effects too. It's not just that, oh, we're getting some new notes or whatever, but you can get some good effects out of that. So it is pretty cool. Okay, let's look at the bottom line. You may be familiar with this song. It's called Cockles and Mussels, and it's only part of the song. Okay, the song is about 3 times longer than what I've got here. And if you'll notice right in the middle, one of the highest notes is a B flat. Then that's going to be a draw on hole 3 with the slide, and that's going to happen 3 measures from the end also. Now, you might be a person that likes some options, and there are some good options because of the chromatic, and that is, if I'm looking at the first 4 measures, including the pickup starting at the beginning, right? If I don't want to slide on those Fs, I can draw. So I can do the whole second and third measure on a draw and just reposition the harmonica to get the A. So I can go, missed note, my bad. Now I can do most of that line on a draw. So if I want some options, like my breathing's just not going for me at the time and I need to inhale more in a song, I've got options because of the way the whole slide system works. So that's a really good thing, okay? Hopefully this lets you have enough information to know whether you want to buy this or not. But I know on my written review on this, I put, if I ever need to replace this, I'm replacing it with another one just like this. Now, if they make one that is an octave lower, so in other words, holes 5, 6, 7, 8 are the same notes as 1, 2, 3, 4, then I'll get that one because I like the lower notes better and I cannot hear the high notes very well. Okay. Now, here's some complaints. Other than ones you've heard about earlier with the fact that no harmonica can get particular chords, okay? And that is, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but there's like fingerprints all over this finish, right? And at the time we got this was the only finish that was available, okay? And what I don't like about that is, you always got to be wiping that thing down when you're done, which is a good idea anyway, okay? You always got to be wiping it down because if you don't, and I was a professional trumpet player for many years, okay? I can tell you I wore gloves when I played. And the reason for that is oil and residue from your fingers, even if your hands are clean, will eventually eat away the finish on your instrument. So this beautiful shine that this instrument has will eventually be gone if I don't wipe it down good with a nice soft cloth after I get done playing it every time, okay? So that's just a maintenance thing that people might want to be paying attention to if you're getting these nice, beautiful, shiny silver ones. I would personally like to have a wood finish on this. Okay, they offered, I believe, red and blue, but they didn't have them at the time. I'd like to have a wood finish. That would be like really awesome in my opinion, okay? But overall though, I mean, if I had to score this thing on a scale of like 10 stars, not the 5-star rating, but the 10 stars, I'd give this 9.5, okay? Really worth the money. So I could show you one that I've got that costs 4 times more right now from another company, and it can't pass any of the playing tests I've done on these 2 pages. It cannot. And I did write about that in my written review, so if you want to read on that, you can, but I even had their company work on it and send it back, and it still sounds awful. This is awesome compared to all the other chromatics that I've ever played on. So hopefully this helps you out make a good decision on whether you want to buy or not, whether it's for you or as a gift. Mine was a gift to me. Well, my birthday happened last year, and I'm very happy with it. And the people that got it for me are like, oh, I'm so glad to hear him play this every day. And they even sing when I'm playing. So that's awesome. It's good family time. So make a good decision, enjoy music, and have a safe, happy, peaceful, wonderful day. Goodbye.